Hi friends, so I'm back with another video and today we have got Argo. Hi Argo, welcome.
Hi, Gaurav.
So today we are going to talk about what are the process if any students want to apply for the PhD in UK, then what are the chances of availability of the scholarship, the different types of scholarship, and what are the process that you need to do for applying those scholarship, because most of the different scholarship have different steps how to apply. So today we'll be discussing about those things. So Argo, will start with our very first question. Like, suppose there are some students, those who are UK students and some are non-UK students. So, if they want to apply for the scholarship in UK, so what's the difference? Like, if a Asian student is applying at the same time, if a UK student is applying for the scholarship, so is there any difference in the both the methods?
In general, the methods will be the same, but the amount of scholarship, so it's basically different because the tuition fee for UK students is less compared to international students. So, like finding a scholarship for international student, it's more difficult than a UK student. But still, the process is the same. So the type of scholarships, but they will be mostly indicating this is for local students and this is for international students. So they just have to follow the process what's indicated.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah, at the same time, like suppose, are there any minimum skills required to get a scholarship for any particular scholarship if you want to apply? Then there is a many minimum eligibility criteria or the skills that you need.
Yeah, so the minimum criteria it's defined differently for different universities, different scholarships. But basically, like there are four things we always need to have, like a strong academic background, strong research background, and language skills. And finally, they also need to have a motivation and confident enough to apply for the scholarship. So these are the four things mainly. But if you look at the academic background, so different scholarships may request different GPAs or
Yeah,
different degree qualifications. So that varies based on the scholarship.
I think it's also varies, like if you're coming from a different stream subject. So from a subject point of view, also the skills varies for when you're applying for the scholarship, isn't it?
Yeah, that also, yeah, it's possible. For usually some scholarships, they expect similar qualification. For an example, like university-wide scholarships, so they take all the students together and assess them together and offer scholarships like for one for in civil engineering, one for computer science engineering, and one for humanities. Like they assess the students together. In that case, the criteria will be same. But if you look at funded projects, so that will be completely different from other streams. Like
Oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that makes sense. Okay, at the same time, so like students when they apply, so it is considered generally student consider it's really difficult to get scholarship in UK, but very few people know that there are already a lot of very different options are available for
Yeah.
applying for the scholarship in UK. So can you please tell to our audience like what are the types of different scholarship available to for the high studies and studying in UK?
Yeah. So even in higher studies, like for PhD, and if you look at master, it's completely different. So if you focus in PhD scholarships, so one of the most popular scholarship, it's like university-wide scholarship. So as I told you earlier, like different universities, they will have a university scholarship every year. Like it depends on the name might vary from university to university. Some they call it as presidential scholarship, some chancellor scholarship. So the name might vary. So that is basic. It's basically so that they assess all the applicants and they offer scholarships entirely for the university. And the other popular scholarship is government bodies from for an example in UK it's like the UKRI. They offer various scholarships for different fields like for engineering, humanities, medicine. They offer a lot of scholarships. So it's basically it will be funded for the certain project. So, and also the similar kind of scholarships can be obtained from a supervisor or from industry. So all these kind of scholarships it's going as a funded project. So it will be mostly visible in the university website or under each supervisor's website. So we can find for an example, this project is offered with a funded project or for a local or international student. So if the student is interested in that particular project, so they can apply for the admission and for the scholarship as well. So apart from this, there are like scholarship from their own countries. If it's an international student in their own country, they will have a lot of scholarship opportunities. So they can check in their government website and find them. And also there are like charity-based scholarship, like Commonwealth, it's like very
Yeah.
popular, and other than that also there are like a lot of minor scholarships which we are not aware. But if you are looking at the university website, it might be indicated like for this particular course you can apply for this scholarship, but it's not, it might be not popular, but the students can go to the university website and find them out. Or like there are some other minority websites also, like for an example, women in STEM, like because to promote women in STEM they are offering scholarships for women. So it mostly, most of these minor scholarships, it will be indicated in website, but usually the students are not aware, and they generally sometimes apply for the university scholarship, and when they fail they think that they cannot apply for the scholarship. So like these are the basic kinds.
Okay, so like as you mentioned, there are many scholarship available. So like for a student, from where that student should start looking for the scholarship? I mean, like from where he'll get to know that these scholarships are available from which different platform, because the scholarship UDOs are completely different in a different
Yeah.
fields. So
Yeah.
how a student will know that which scholarship suits me and from where I should start my scholarship
Yeah.
finding?
So for that there are like two ways. One is self-search, so they can search in the website and find out, and like that might be difficult and it might take some time. So the other way is the student can first sort out the universities which they want to apply, and they can contact the supervisor, and the supervisor can inform the student if they have any funded projects. Sometimes the supervisors ask the students to apply for that, and they can also guide with us with the university scholarships or what are the other possible scholarships. So that is a potential way to find out about the scholarship and which might suit us.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So at the same time, like when students are applying for this scholarship, so there are some important documents are required that, you know, for different scholarship, the requirements of documents are different. So what are the basic documents that a student should have before applying for any of the scholarship? That these documents are very mandatory. So what are those?
So the first thing is a well-structured CV. So a CV should not be too long or too short. Like one-page CV would not be adequate for a PhD scholarship. Also like 4 to 6, 7, 8 pages. So that might be too long. So like between 2 to 4 pages, if the CV is well structured with their educational qualification and their research background and all the other awards and the extracurriculars, and with proper references. So that is the first thing a student should have before applying for a PhD. And then secondly, they should always have all the degree qualifications, the certificates, whatever they have indicated in the CV, they should have a reasonable proof for that. So when they are applying with a lot of qualification indicating in the CV, and when the examiner or the evaluator asks for the documents, if they don't have it, it will be a problem. So they should always have the proof for the qualifications what they have indicated in the CV. And other than that, so if they have a strong research background, so it's always good to have all the publications with them, so they can attach the publications with the document what they should give. And
So sorry to interrupt in between.
Yeah.
A lot of students, when they apply for this scholarship, so they don't have the publication. So do you think it is a negative point, or it is creating a huge impact if you don't have a if you don't have a publication while applying for a scholarship? Because as you mentioned, that students should like send their publication also.
Yeah, so it's not like a complete negative point, but as I mentioned earlier, so when we are applying for a scholarship, it's always good to have a strong academic background, research background, and the language criteria, right? So in case of research background, so if a student has a great research background, it's always good to have some publication to prove their research skills. Otherwise, if they say like we have done all this research, so the examiner or the evaluator might not know whether this research is suitable enough to publish.
Yeah.
So it's
I think
always
it's
good.
become a very good benchmark for a potential supervisor to check that the candidate is having really good expertise in that
Yeah.
particular field or not.
Yeah. And so apart from the CV and the qualification, the student should always have the research proposal. So it doesn't matter what kind of scholarship they are applying.
Is it mandatory to have a research proposal?
It's always good for us to have a research proposal before applying. In case, like, it might be a funded project. If it's a funded project, the proposal might be different based on the criteria. But if you're applying for a random university scholarship, or even if you are communicating with the supervisor, they might ask you, so do you have any idea in your mind?
Yeah.
So then it's always good to have a proposal like I wish to do this, but later if it's a funded project and if they are having a different aim, so we can change the proposal. But if it's a university scholarship, when we are applying, we need to submit the proposal with the application. Or even if it's other charity-based scholarships or different government scholarship, they always ask for a project proposal because this is a PhD research. So if they are offering us a fund, they should make sure whether the student can make an impact to the society, so with their research. So it's always important to have a research proposal. And if it's a funded project, in addition to this document, it's good if we have a motivational letter kind of thing,
Okay.
because the examiner can understand, yeah, the student is really interested in this project and he or she is capable to do this project. So that's also always helpful.
And does this motivation letter should be a general one, or should be project or supervisor specific when you're sending?
Yeah, motivational letter, it's mostly required when we are applying for a funded project. So it should be specific to the project. Like
Okay.
they should mention, so I'm interested in this project, the reason why I am interested, and also we should prove ourselves that we are capable to do this project. We have these skills which might be required to do this project, and they should prove themselves. So that's the main reason to have a motivational letter, especially when we are applying for a university funded or department funded or supervisor funded projects.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so that was really insightful, and I guess all the students, those who are going to apply for the scholarship for studying in Europe and UK, this will be really insightful and informative for you. And we'll be bringing more videos regarding the scholarship and the PhD availability, what the students are looking for as of now. Please keep liking, subscribing, and sharing the video, and we will bring some more informative video for your higher studies and PhD.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.